G'day, welcome to Great White Gaming, and today I am very excited to bring the first episode of my Last Dance series. So I'm going to be taking a look at some of my favorite cards that we're about to lose to the 2020 rotation, and giving them one last opportunity to prove just how great they were in the largest version of the format that we have them in before the rotation happens next month. So today, we're going to be looking at one of my favorite consistency cards, which is Zebstrika. So for those that aren't aware of Zebstrika, it has the sprint ability. So once per turn, you may discard your hand and draw 4 cards. So it's a great way to get out of stamp. It's a great way to churn through your deck after a Mani. It's a really useful consistency card. And I personally feel the card that benefits most from it is our Golurk. So for those that haven't played with Golurk, so Golurk's not rotating, but for 2 colorless energy, it does 160. The only catch is you can't have any supporter cards in your discard pile. So since draw is such an important thing and draw supporters are going to be sadly missed, we supplement the fact that we don't have any supporters by playing our Zebstrika. So I wanted to bring something that had a little bit of spice, a little bit of extra energy to it, something that you wouldn't necessarily see in your standard Golurk Zebstrika deck. And my tech option that I've decided to add in is Toxicroak. So there's a lot of Pika-Rom around at the moment, and I find that this deck does get bodied by Pika-Rom just because we can't get that revenge knockout, unless we play Toxicroak with the exact revenge attack. So again, a double colorless energy. If you have had a psychic Pokemon knocked out by your opponent's attack the previous turn, this attack does 70 more, aka 120, which becomes 240 with weakness. So it allows you to revenge KO a Pika-Rom, which is super useful. So the other card that's going to be rotating that you'll probably see quite a few times in these spotlights is going to be our Ditto Prism Star. So pretty much everyone's aware of Ditto Prism Star by now, and our Stage 1 decks in the new, in the post-rotation format are going to sorely miss this guy. So the ability to evolve into any Stage 1 card makes it an incredible add to any Stage 1 deck, and just helps us with consistency in case we prize a Golurk, if we prize a Krogunk, or if we prize a Blitzel, being able to get into any of those cards is super useful. So again, like I mentioned, we've got no supporter cards, so we do have 4 of Acrobike to try and make our way through the deck. We've got 4 copies of Mysterious Treasure to get our Psychic cards out, 4 Quick Ball to be able to get into our basics, 4 Evolution Incense. We're playing enough different Stage 1 cards that we do have enough opportunities to get them off of Evo Incense. I'm also playing 3 comms because we do have a lot of different cards. You'll often find with 17 Pokemon that you'll have at least 1 in the hand that we can get back into. Then have a couple of copies of Ordinary Rod, because we currently only have 5 attackers, and that's if Toxicroak is a viable attacker. We want to be able to bring some of our Golurk and Golurks back into the deck, especially if we have to sprint them away with Zebstrika. Otherwise, we've got 2 copies of Switch. I am playing a singular Shrine of Punishment just to help with numbers, in particular for the Pika-Rom matchup. But if you do come across any other cards, so obviously we're getting a 1-hit KO on Dedenne, but anything that's a little bit beefier than Dedenne, after a couple of ticks of Shrine, we can knock them out. But of course, playing a Stage 1 deck means that we often have extra Pokemon on the bench that are going to get sniped, especially if we're playing against Dragapult V Max. So the 2 copies of Skypillar help to protect our guys on the bench. We also have a singular U-turn board just to make sure that we can get out of any of our other cards if we need to, just in addition to the 2 copies of Switch. And we do have the 4 spell tags, which again is going to be rotating as well, and something that Psychic decks are really going to miss out on. So I feel like Psychic loses one of the most amount of support moving into the new format, especially with the new Eternatus V Max coming out. Psychic cards are well and truly taking a massive hit. So in terms of energy, we have got 4 twin energy because we're not playing any GX or Vs, and all of our attackers can attack for double colorless. All of our attackers are also evolution Pokemon, so we can use our triple acceleration energy. And we have also got 4 copies of Horror Psychic Energy. So just in case we do whiff on any of these, or if we do end up with our Golurk to begin with, for 1 Psychic Energy, it allows you to draw until you have 5 cards in your hand, and occasionally if you get stuck, the 90 HP basic with a single Horror Energy can not only help with the numbers, but it also allows us to draw back up if we've ended up with a low number of cards, and just helps a little bit more with the consistency of the deck. So this is a build that I've been playing around with for just a little while. I've really only had a couple of games with it, but I'm yet to lose a game. That said, this is obviously recorded before we play, so you're about to see whether that streak continues or not. So without further ado, let's get into the game. But what do you do? Alright, so we have got Psychic and Dark, which makes me think that we are probably playing a Dragapult VMAX. So we want to go first with this deck. We don't play any supporters, so the turn 1 supporter rule doesn't really impact us in the slightest, and we really want to get rolling as quickly as we can. Oh, we're playing Malamar. So we're going to start off with an Acrobike. God. It's weak to grass, so the fighting doesn't really help me. So I'll just go into the Golurk. Can they knock me out first turn? I don't think that they can. So I'm going to get rid of the comms and set up another Blitzel, just in case our Blitzel gets taken. So next turn we Evo Incense for a Zebstrika. We attach our Twin Energy to our other Golurk, and we should hopefully be alright. So see, this is the kind of deck that you're really thankful to have a couple of Zebstrika. So they're going to try and set up as quickly as they can, and then stamp us down to a low card size. So if we are able to keep this hand, I'm going to be really happy. Because at this point, I don't know whether they stamp me down. Yeah. Cool. So we tag, we twin, we Evo Incense into a Zebstrika. We sprint. Get ourselves another Zebstrika. So we're looking for either a switch or still digging. Golurk. May as well get our Golurk out. I should have used that Evo Incense before the Acrobike anyway. Boom. Broken deck. And it doesn't resist us. Now, I don't play Malamar v Max that often, so I can't remember whether it has 320 or more. $310, alright, so unless they... So look, hitting us for weakness doesn't mean anything. They're losing their VMAX next turn. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. This is such a bad matchup for them. Ditto. Sprint. Honestly, the fact that they're still playing is pretty impressive. So we get the knockout. We take 3 more prizes. Got ourselves another Golurk for next turn. We've got a U-turn board in case they bring something up. And there's a scoop. So it is as easy as that. We don't care about weakness because we're only a single prize deck. So as you can see, I've still got my win streak from the last couple of test games with this deck, making sure that it actually works. Alright, let's get into another one. No rest for the wicked. Let's see whether our next matchup can give us more of a challenge. Alright, let's see if we can come up against something that I can surprise with my fighting tech. We've beaten some good decks. Beating Dragapult VMAX was definitely one of my favorite things we've done so far. Okay. This is not terrible. This is definitely not terrible. Alright, so if they don't get the Dedenne out... Oh, are we actually up against Pikarom? That is incredible. Alright. I think... we've got to do it. Alright, so we run off the assumption that Golurk gets knocked out next turn. Marnie sucks, especially when that was our setup. Please, please tell me that this works. Alright, so I need 2 there and 2 there. Alright. Guys, we got it. We got the revenge play. Honestly. Look at that setup. That's just... Now I just need a spell tag. I don't need that Toxicroak anymore. Get myself another Golurk. May as well get another Golurk. Make our way through. And exact revenge for knockout. We've got the counter stadium, we've got the energy. Once Toxicroak gets knocked out, we can rod it back in. Okay, cool. So you're going to Mallow and Lana the Boltwind. Look, I gotta tell you, worth it. Reset stamp me all you like, man. Alright. Get my other Golurks. So I want the tag, which I've got. The bike gets me a twin energy. Hold on to the rest of the hand. Fine. Fine. Alright. Cool. Well played. That is Pika-ROM done with the 2 techs that we've got. Pretty happy with that. And I would have liked a little bit of a cleaner victory, but victory is victory. Alright, we're going to get one more in. There's not really much else that I could have done in that matchup. We couldn't have really done much better than we did there. We just didn't have the firepower. And that will happen. There will be matchups where we just don't have enough firepower to... Alright. Ourselves another Golurk, get ourselves a Blitzel. Attach to the back and pass. So they're straight into Dragapult VMAX. With no energy. And the professors, well, they're playing all of the bling. Giant Bomb 180 or more. Okay, so we can't activate Giant Bomb even if we wanted to. Okay, what we really need is a Pokemon here. Are you gonna force out my Golurk? Okay. Beautiful. I prized 2 Zebstrika. Feels bad. Feels very bad. How? How did I prize 2 Zebstrika? So they need a way of healing or something else. Giant bomb isn't going to do anything. You've got Dedenne. So much bling, and then not even a holo Jirachi. What is going on, friend? Mani me. That's perfectly fine. Where's your healing? You're gonna get knocked out next turn. Where's your next attacker? Wow. So you'll need to put alright, so we comms for another Golurk. We then quick ball for a Blitzel. We treasure for a Gollet. We sprint. So that Evo Incense doesn't get me anything anymore. So let's just get another Gollet. And then knock out Dragapult VMAX. Pull a Zebstrika, pull another Zebstrika, and Sky Pillar. So they need a lot. Alright. At this point, there's not much we can do about the swell. We've got our other Golurk prized. There's our Dragapult V. There's our Horror Energy. Cool. That sets Zebstrika up for a knockout next turn. Eldegoss for Amani. Okay. Like, putting all those cards back is fine. See, I'd rather bump with Shrine of Punishment. Honestly, this is the best hand that I could have hoped for. Just gorgeous. Broken deck. Keep that twin energy for next turn. So I'm trying to work out if they have a win con. They've got to take 5 prizes. Man, I need to make room for a great catcher in this deck. Soften up the other. No. Yeah, alright. Got the scoop up net. Cool. Dragapult V Max. Then we will lose a Zebstrika here. I mean, it doesn't matter. Honestly, it doesn't matter. Then we Evo Incense into Golurk. And we Sky Pillar. Alright. Tool Scrapper. Fine. What have you got? You haven't got a backup attacker. I don't know how much healing you play. So you put the ping damage on Zebstrika. Yep. But you still have to either heal Dragapult VMAX or get it out of the active. And I've already got everything. So, do they scoop? Okay. So I think that was the wrong play. I'm fairly sure that's the wrong play. Unless you've got the Mallow on Lana and the switch. Okay, Professor's research is not Mallow and Lana. And we win. Yeah, so the correct play would have been to sacrifice the Jirachi. I'm not hitting enough to do Giant Bomb. So I think that I just bring the Splitzel out. No. Just get rid of them both. It's fine. So it's just the Mallow and Lana play. So you Mallow and Lana, you switch. And then you can win. But I don't know if they've got it. Come on, man. Beating Dragapult VMAX would be an incredible, like... I'm already set up. I've got everything I need. That's not a Mallow and Lana. I win. Surely. Surely that's all she wrote. Because I've got 3 attackers. You can't even knock out 2 of them and leave me without an attacker. So, well played to my opponent. Let's just put the spell tag on. Knock him out. That is Dragapult VMAX beaten with Golurk. Ladies and gentlemen. So that's the deck, guys. If in terms of changes, if I wanted to make the deck a little bit more consistent, I would honestly consider swapping a couple of Horror Energy for Capture Energy, because I do have that colorless attack cost. It doesn't so much matter about having the Horror Energy in there other than trying to get the return and then just the extra damage when either the Golurk or the Golurk get attacked. So having that Capture Energy would help in terms of being able to get an extra couple of basics out. Even something like getting a Ditto out there can really help so that you don't get bricked early on. But that was the deck. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully it's a little different to some of the other Golurk variations you've seen. I will miss you, Zebstrika. You certainly help out. Now that we've got Marnie, honestly, Zebstrika is one of my favorite Marnie and Reset Stamp answers. So you will be missed. I guess if you really wanted to run Golurk moving forward, you would just swap out the Zebstrika line for Cincino and just be able to draw cards that way. And yeah, otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and until next time, have a nice life.